ready? We're doing a Pilates class today. I hope you're feeling energetic and ready to work your body. So if it feels comfortable to use to kneel down, that's good. If not, you can stand up or you can sit down. Bring your arms up and down. Breathe. You know, one thing I don't do is introduce myself because I think, oh, they're following my videos already. But if I have anybody new, I'm Sonia and I've been teaching fitness classes since 2008, but I've been teaching classes since I was 16 and I'm 60. So it's been a while since I've been teaching classes and it's my love in my life. Okay, if it feels comfortable to you, go like this too, because that helps stretch the knees. And stretching is good. Not to the place of pain, but discomfort maybe a little bit. So stretching the knees a little bit. We're going to do a Pilates class. I'm going to give you different options on things that you can do. If you want to do it hard way or if you want to do it the easy way, there is always an option for you to follow. So here we go. Also, I don't play music, and two reasons why I don't like to be flagged for playing music that I'm not supposed to play. But I think it's more fun for you to play the music that you like. So right now you can have a background music that you like while we do Pilates, and it's always more fun listening to what you like rather than what somebody else likes. All right, so here we go. We lay down on the mat, we bend the knees, tummy down. If you feel comfortable lifting your head, go ahead and lift. And then go like this. It's called patting the water, like an otter going backwards in the river. And then you breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10 counts. We do that 10 times for a total of 100, which is why this is called hundreds. If you want to do it harder, you can stay right here, or you can bring your legs up on tabletop and keep going. If you want to do it harder, you can extend your knees. And you want to do it super hard, you can bring your legs closer to the floor. The closer you bring your legs to the floor, of course, the harder it's going to be. But your back wants to arch. If your back starts arching, don't do it. Try to keep your back in a neutral spine, or more like trying to touch the mat than letting it arch. All right, so that was about 10 breaths. Kind of with my fingers, sort of. Always the beginning for a Pilates warm-up in my classes, at least. I mean, when I did my certification, they taught us that, but you know, you can start with other things. I always start with the same because I think having a little flow helps people to know what's next, and it kind of prepares you, and then you kind of know what's next. If you just throw in things at people, it's like, ooh, now what? I mean, it might be a preference for me, but I feel comfortable with that. All right, the next exercise, you can keep one knee bent and the other leg goes up and down. And you can do a few with one leg. I'm gonna do about 4 with one leg. And then we're gonna switch. We're gonna do another 4 with the other leg. And then I'm going to show you how this exercise is to be done. You can switch and do 4 with the other leg, or you can do both legs. And if you're doing one leg, switch now, and then do the other leg. Exhale always when you come to your center. So breathe in on the way out, and breathe out in the way in. All right, so that was one leg, other leg, one leg, other leg. Next exercise is similar to it, but it's with knee bend. So we're gonna do the same way. One knee first, the other knee. Then the way the exercise is done, if you want to do one leg and the other leg, you can do that, or you can join and do the last 8 with both legs together. So here we go. I like to prop my head up like that because it helps with the curve. If you want to lift and then use your arms, you can do that. Alright, so here we go. One in and out. In and out. In and out. In and out. Switch leg. In and out. In and out. In and out. In and out. Switch leg. In and out. Exhale, breathe in. Exhale, breathe in. Exhale, breathe in. Switch leg, breathe. Exhale, exhale, and exhale. Alright, finish up. You can drop your knees to one side, don't force it, just whatever they get. Keep your shoulders on the mat. And switch side, just right there. What music are you listening to? Put it in the comments, let me know. I love to hear from you. Alright, so there we are. The next exercise is very similar, but it's switching legs. So we're gonna do 4 and 4, and then 8, but if you want to just keep switching legs, that's how you're gonna do it. You can keep your head on the floor, or you can lift your head. 1 and out, switch. In and out, switch. In and out, switch. In and out, switch. In and out. In and out. In and out. In and out. Keep going like that. In, out, switch. In, single legs, in and out, switch. 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 Alright, take it down, open the knees to the sides and just let them rest. Take a few breaths. Be mindful of your belly, try to sink it in. And then trying to breathe with the belly in is kind of difficult, so it feels like you're expanding side to side or east to west. So it's hard to do it, but you can train yourself to do that. And it's a good thing because always tucking your tummy in protects your back and everything, really. So it's a good thing to do. Bring it up. So the next one is adding a little twist. So we're gonna do 4 with one arm. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Other side. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Other side. If you want to stay like that, stay like that. If you want to add a knee movement, do 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. I'm going to show you how this exercise is done. 1 and 2. Try to keep the elbows open. 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So there you have it. a whole bunch of different ways in which you can do this exercise. The last one is very similar to the first one because the legs are extended, but we take turns with them. And we're going to do it with the legs a little farther away so that they're almost more extended, but try to keep your back on neutral spine. Up and down. 2 and down. Up and down. Up and down. The first one was the same leg. This one we're switching right away from the beginning. So you just keep doing these. You can make them harder by lifting your head and shoulders off the floor. Engaging the abs a little more. With movement, you can work on the flexibility training of it by grabbing your leg and grabbing the other leg, pulling it a little bit closer. I'm grabbing under the knee so that you don't put any strain on the knee. And if you're more advanced, you want to grab the leg and then switch. And switch. And then switch. So those are the scissors. Alright, feet on the floor, hands on the mat. Tuck your shoulder blades in. I like to do that because if you're not, your spine is against the mat. But if you tuck your shoulder blades in, it kind of protects your back from having too much pressure against the mat. And I think that's good and it's important. The closer your feet to your butt, the easier on the hamstrings. We're gonna lift and lower. Up and lower. The only option here is not to go as high. The other thing important is to roll the back. Like you're rolling and peeling off and rolling and placing one backbone at a time. And you can do it a full range of motion or you can do it small. But these are just hamstrings, buttocks, mostly. Your quads kind of work a little bit because you're, kind of bending here a little bit, but it's not really a quad exercise. It's really more a hamstring and buttocks exercise. And if you tuck your belly in, then the abs are also engaged. So these are called articulated bridges because you are articulating your spine. And when you pay attention to the lower spine, all those little muscles right there get strong. And that's what it will eventually prevent you from having back pain because your back would be strong. Alright, so that's it for that. Let's go ahead and sit up. Notice how I push myself with my elbows and then with my hands. If I can get up like that, that's what you want to do. You don't want to be twisting and trying and that. And if you can, then roll to the side and sit up. And once you sit here, you're not going to do the full range of motion for a roll up. You're going to stay halfway and then come up. All right, halfway and come up. Having your legs straight is hard because the hip flexors right here get tired really fast because there's 4 muscles in the front of your leg and they get fatigued. So if you get to do a few of these, that's good enough. If it feels more comfortable bending the knees, you can do that. Some people prefer with the legs extended. Some people prefer with the legs down. If your arms are strong enough, I will show you 2 roll-ups, how they're done. So here we go down. We try not to flap at the end, very controlled on the lower back. And then with almost no momentum, you come up. And then you roll it down, very carefully, slowly. You breathe in, and as you exhale, that exhale helps you come up. All right. Another exercise that you can do preview on the roll-ups is with your legs bent, just lean down. And then try and reach with your lower back and then get straight. Try and reach and get straight. If you want to make the air shake, you're in a position diagonally like that. You want to bring your arms off. That's hard enough. But if you bring your arms all the way back to where your hands are, that's going to make you start shaking because your abs are so engaged. And then if you lift your feet off the floor, it's a super intense exercise for the abs. Again, the hip flexors get it because they're trying to hold to you there. So it's hard on the hip flexors. All right. So we did all those exercises for abs. Gonna go on the belly. So come with me onto your belly. And first, we're gonna get our lower back acquainted with the curve. Because so far we've been avoiding that curve. We sit down a lot, so we want to have that curve. That curve in the back is important. We're gonna move the head down and up because the curve on the head is also very important. And every time you go down, try and feel a pull all the way to your buttocks. Try to grow tall so your ears are away from your shoulders. The shoulders are not up like that, they're down. And then we're going to do that back even more. So place your hands under your shoulders and push it up. If your legs come off the floor at first, that's okay, but you want to eventually be able to bend your back a little more. Maybe it's a natural, you would think, to bend your back like this, and it is, but in a way it helps because the back was made to move. If it's uncomfortable, it's okay. If it's painful, it's not okay. Don't do it. All right, bend the arms and come up. We're using the triceps to do this exercise. That's the back of your arm. And so just still working on the lower back. Right there, I'm pushing my lower back towards the sky instead of letting it still sink. So that I'm doing like articulated back exercises there. So every chance I have, I push my lower back towards the sky and lift. And if you just sat there or lay here and do these exercises, that would be awesome. You would feel it. You would know it. Your back will thank you. All right. So your arms are probably getting a little tired. So let's just do one more. And then go onto your knees and hands. So your hands are under your shoulders. You're gonna curve. And you're gonna look up. You're gonna curve. Push your belly towards your spine. It's called navel to spine. And then go the other way. Navel to spine. And go the other way. And navel to spine. And go the other way. All right, awesome. Center. Tuck the toes and lift. You're gonna take turns reaching your heel towards the floor. As you can see, my tendons are really flexible. So I can be on a downward dog and my heels can touch the floor, but a lot of people can't. And they bend the knees because their hamstrings are not stretchy. Carefully, slowly, patiently, you want to work this position until your hamstrings are super flexible. Core is your abs, your butt, your hamstrings. So very important pieces of your body to be in optimal shape. Not shape or form, but shape of fitness. All right, so last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna be on our belly. We're gonna scoot the belly button towards the spine towards the ceiling, and right here, it doesn't matter how much you bend, it's just the fact that you're extending your back. And you come down. And you extend your back, and you come down. These are called back extensions. It is working the erector spinae muscle, which is not the latissimus dorsi, which is the opposing muscle to the pectoralis major. This one is mostly the opposing muscle to the abs. So since we work so much abs at the beginning, we need to extend those abs. I always say, so that you don't look like a question mark, you look like an exclamation point. So here you are. All right, so that's Pilates. Push back. I got you started. If you want to do a spinal balance, lift your leg and your opposite arm. Try and keep square hips and square shoulders. Breathe. And then switch leg and switch arm and breathe. And bring it down. Sit back and stretch. And lift up to the sky. Do a mountain. Mountain is standing, it's a yoga pose. And take it down. On your own. Finish this video. Lay down on your mat. Take a few breaths. Meditate. Think about positive things. If you find yourself thinking about something that is negative, switch it, change it. Just think good things. Why dwell on things that are bad and that we can't change? So that's a little Pilates class for you this morning. I hope that you find enjoyment in moving, exercising, and doing things. See you next time. Be good, be happy, and behave.